Hi, English learners. Welcome to English Unlocked, the Oral Mastery. Think of this as your daily dose of inspiration, where learning English feels like a breeze and improving your life feels like home. I am your host, Daniel.
And I am your expert, Jenny.
And today, we are doing a deep dive into something you probably do every single day.
Yeah.
Every morning, billions of people wake up and just willingly drink this bitter, kind of toxic bean extract.
Right, just to function.
Exactly. And we have built this massive global culture pretending that our obsession is, all about the taste. So today, we are tearing down the fake image of your morning cup of coffee.
It really is a bizarre habit when you zoom out. I mean, we are a species that convinced itself we need a specific plant chemical to start the day.
Yeah.
And we wrap it in so much art and ritual that we don't even see it as a dependency anymore.
Which brings us to our mission for this deep dive. We are looking at a transcript from an English language learning program.
Right.
It features a conversation between two characters. And funnily enough, those characters are named Daniel and Jenny.
What a crazy coincidence.
I know, right?
Oh.
But the goal of their dialogue is to teach non-native speakers 10 English vocabulary phrases about coffee.
Just 10 simple phrases.
Right. But when you actually read what these characters are saying, it becomes becomes an amazing look at human nature.
It really does. It maps out the modern human condition in just a few minutes.
So we are going to explore how coffee controls our energy, shapes our social lives, and even shows the secret identities we hide from the world.
It's basically a masterclass in modern culture disguised as an English vocabulary lesson.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, the listener, a question. Have you ever walked into a cafe and felt like totally intimidated just trying to order a simple drink?
Oh, absolutely.
Or have you stared at a menu that looks more like a science textbook than a drinks list? Or maybe you just need that morning cup to find the power to grab your car keys.
We've all been there.
Right. We are going to break down those everyday experiences.
Right.
And we start with the super complex modern cafe.
So the transcript starts with the character Daniel. He visits a new concept cafe down the street, and he feels completely out of place. He says the menu looked like a science textbook.
I feel his pain so much. He just wanted a normal coffee, just a hot bean water.
Right.
But the barista starts asking all these questions, like, do you want a single origin pour over? Do you want notes of blueberry or toasted nuts?
Yeah, we have to talk about the idea of a concept cafe. It's not just a normal coffee shop. A normal shop is just a utility. You pay money, you get a drink.
Simple.
But a concept cafe has a theme. It has an artistic style. It expects the customer to understand its unspoken rules.
Right. It demands that you play along with their art project. And the character Daniel is just saying, hey, I didn't ask to be in your play. I just want to drink.
Exactly. By treating the coffee bean like a rare wine, they charge more money. But to join in, you have to speak their language. The barista is testing his cultural knowledge.
And he fails the test on purpose. It's so funny. The barista asks if he wants notes of blueberry. And Daniel just looks at him and says, I want notes of coffee.
It's such a clever way to say no. He is rejecting all their fancy words. For him, coffee is a tool.
Yeah.
It's like going to buy a hammer, and the worker asks if you want a hammer with notes of oak and iron.
You just say, I want it to hit the nail.
Right. But the character Jenny, she defends the cafe. She loves the art of it.
And that shows the big culture clash here. The lesson introduces the first vocabulary word, which is brew.
Yes, to brew. It means to make coffee or tea with hot water.
But then they talk about the modern 12-hour cold brew. And I have to agree with Daniel here. He says, that's not art, that's a part-time job.
It's a great line. It really shows how we value things today.
But wait, when does the art become more important than the drink? If I wait 12 hours for a drink, it better do my taxes for me.
I know, it sounds crazy.
Why do we care more about a drink just because it takes half a day to make?
Well, think about modern life. Everything is instant now. Fast food, fast internet, instant messages.
True.
Speed is normal. It's not a luxury anymore. So how does a cafe look like a luxury place? by doing the exact opposite.
Oh, so they sell patience.
Exactly. They make it seem like extreme labor and lots of time equals higher quality. Time is our most precious resource.
Wow. But Daniel doesn't buy it. He just sees useless work.
Right. But Jenny tries to explain it. She says this bitter, complex coffee is an acquired taste.
And that's our second vocabulary phrase.
Ah.
Acquired taste. Something you don't like at first, but you learn to enjoy over time.
And honestly, the whole idea of an acquired taste goes against human biology.
Thank you. I always thought it sounded like a scam.
It basically is a scam we play on our own bodies. Think about why we taste things. It's a survival tool.
Right.
When we taste sweet things, our brain says, yay, safe energy. But when we taste bitter things, our brain panics. Bitterness usually means poison in nature.
Yeah, if you eat a random wild berry and it tastes like bitter ash, you don't chew it and think, maybe I'll acquire a taste for this.
No.
You spit it out so you don't die.
Exactly. But with black coffee, we ignore millions of years of evolution. The transcript says learning to like black coffee is a slow conditioning process.
Yeah, Daniel admits he is still waiting to acquire the taste. He needs milk and sugar, or he won't drink it.
So why do we do it? Why do we force ourselves to drink this bitter water?
Because the chemical reward is just so strong, it rewires our brain. We don't really learn to love the bitterness. We just get addicted to the reward.
Yes. Our brain learns to tolerate the bad taste because it knows what comes next.
Which means all that concept cafe stuff, the 12-hour brews, the notes of blueberry, it's mostly just a show.
Right.
Because whether it takes 12 hours or 12 seconds, most of us don't care about the flavor.
We care about the biology. We want the drug.
Exactly. And that brings us to the second part of the transcript.
Yeah.
Jenny drops the R talk and admits, let's be real, we drink this for the caffeine.
Caffeine. The lesson simply defines it as the energy ingredient.
And Daniel describes his life without it. He calls himself a zombie. He says without coffee, he is slow, grumpy, and he literally can't find his car keys.
We really need to look at this zombie state. We like to think we are smart, independent humans in total control.
Yeah.
But Daniel admits he relies on a plant to function. His mood, his speed, his memory, they all depend on a bean.
It's wild. We outsource our basic brain functions to a plant extract. But how does that actually work? Jenny mentions waiting for the coffee to kick in.
Kick in, that's another phrase. It means when the effect starts to work.
Right, but what is kicking in? Coffee doesn't have calories. It's not real energy like eating a sandwich.
This is the coolest part of the biology. Caffeine does not give you energy. It lies to your brain.
Oh, wait, really?
Yes. As your brain works all day, it makes a chemical called adenosine. When adenosine builds up, it tells your body to go to sleep.
Okay, so adenosine is like sand in an hourglass. It piles up and makes you tired.
Perfect comparison. Now, caffeine molecules are shaped almost exactly like adenosine molecules.
Interesting.
So when you drink coffee, the caffeine rushes in and blocks the adenosine. It's like a fake key in a lock. It doesn't open the door, but it stops the real key from getting in.
Wow. So your brain is still tired, but the signal is blocked.
Exactly. You aren't getting new energy. You are just chemically hiding your own exhaustion.
That is mind-blowing. We are hacking our own brains just to survive the morning. And look at the phrase they use, kick in. That sounds like a machine.
Yes, like an engine kicking in. We treat ourselves like machines.
Daniel says when the caffeine hits, it feels like a light bulb turning on in his brain.
A switch is flipped and power is restored to a dead machine. It proves that those fancy notes of toasted nuts don't matter at all compared to that chemical switch.
But treating our bodies like machines has a cost. You can't just block sleep forever.
Right.
The transcript shows Jenny's doctor actually told her to cut back on caffeine.
Cut back on, meaning to reduce the amount?
The machine is overheating. So how does Jenny handle it? She tries drinking decaf in the afternoon.
Decaf, meaning coffee with the caffeine removed.
Yeah, she calls it a mental pick-me-up, meaning an energy booster.
It's a massive contradiction.
I'm totally on Daniel's side here. He tells her decaf is like a car with no engine. It looks the same, but it's not going anywhere.
That is a perfect analogy. A car without an engine is just expensive lawn furniture.
Exactly. So let me ask you about this. If the caffeine is gone, if the engine is removed, aren't we just fooling ourselves?
Hmm.
How can decaf be an energy booster if it has zero energy chemicals? I mean, it's just brown water.
Yeah.
Does the ritual actually trick her brain?
Yes, it absolutely does. Psychologists call it classical conditioning. It's like Pavlov's famous dogs.
The dogs had drooled when they heard a bell.
Right. Pavlov rang a bell when he fed them. Soon the dogs drooled just hearing the bell, even with no food. Jenny's brain has years of conditioning.
Oh, I see.
She associates the smell, the warm mug, and the bitter taste with that light bulb moment of energy.
So the coffee cup is her bell.
Exactly. Her brain expects the engine to start, so she gets a real placebo effect. The ritual gives her a fake burst of energy.
That is wild. Her brain is so desperate it just hallucinates the energy. The brain is so gullible.
It really is.
But look at how Daniel handles it. He refuses to cut back. He says his favorite pick-me-up is a double espresso.
Daniel uses brute force. If his car slows down, he straps a rocket to the roof.
Yeah.
2 different ways to survive the workday. Trick your body with a placebo or overwhelm it with raw force.
It's a perfect snapshot of human life.
Yeah.
But here is where I get stuck. If we just wanted chemical energy, we wouldn't need cafes.
We'd just take a caffeine pill.
Exactly. We'd chew raw beans or drink a clinical energy shot. The delivery wouldn't matter.
But the third part of the transcript shows coffee is about much more than waking up.
Which is the real reason cafes exist.
Daniel points out that coffee is social. Jenny agrees. She says when she wants to see a friend, she says, let's catch up over coffee. Catch up. Meeting to talk about what's new in our lives. Our modern lives are so fast, we get disconnected from our friends.
Yeah.
We fall behind, and we need a specific activity to sync our timelines back up.
And coffee is the anchor for that. But here is the most surprising part. Daniel admits that when they catch up, they don't even care if the coffee is good. They just want the conversation.
That ruins everything we learned in the first section.
It destroys the concept cafe completely.
Yeah.
The industry acts like it's high art. They brag about single origin beans and cold brews. But the customers admit they don't care about the quality when they're with a friend.
Because the coffee is just an excuse.
An excuse. What do you mean?
In sociology, there's a concept called the third place. Home is place 1, work is place 2.
Okay.
The third place is a social area like a park or cafe. But to sit in a cafe, you need a ticket to enter. The coffee is just a socially acceptable prop. It gives you permission to rent a chair and talk.
I love this. It's exactly like buying overpriced popcorn at the movie theater.
Right.
You don't buy the popcorn because it's a gourmet meal. It's usually stale and covered in fake butter. You buy it because it gives you something to hold. It grounds you in the shared event of the movie.
Exactly. Coffee is the popcorn of our social lives. You aren't there for the art. You are there for the shared event.
And the transcript explains the biology of this, too. Jenny says there is something about sipping a warm drink that makes people open up.
Sipping, meaning drinking slowly in small amounts.
Right. We know a hot coffee feels different socially than sharing a cold soda.
Yeah.
But why? Why does warmth and sipping make us emotionally open?
Well, a warm drink does 2 specific things to your body. First, warmth relaxes your nervous system.
Like physically?
Yes. When we are cold or in a sterile room, we tense up, we cross our arms. This defensive physical posture makes us psychologically defensive.
Oh, like the phrase, giving someone the cold shoulder.
Exactly. Our language reflects it.
Yeah.
But holding a warm mug opens your blood vessels. It puts you in a rest state. It thaws your defenses. And studies show the part of the brain that feels physical warmth also processes social trust. You are biologically tricking your brain to trust the person across from you.
It's like holding a tiny personal fireplace. That explains the warmth. But what about sipping?
You physically cannot chug a hot coffee. If you try, you burn your mouth.
True.
The extreme heat forces you to slow down. Sipping creates a physical rhythm for the conversation.
It creates a cadence.
It creates natural, comfortable pauses. If you ask a friend a deep question and they just stare at you for 10 seconds in silence, it feels super awkward.
Yeah, totally.
But if they pick up their mug, blow on it, take a slow sip, and then answer that 10-second pause feels totally natural.
Oh, wow. The coffee gives you an activity to fill the silence.
Exactly, it removes the pressure. Cashing up and sipping both force us to slow down time.
That is brilliant. So we stress over the cafe menus and we rely on the caffeine to wake up. But the highest purpose of this whole industry is just to give us a warm timer for our socializing.
It regulates our relationships.
It really does. But the final section of our transcript shows something else. Our coffee orders can also reveal the insecurities we try to hide.
This part is so entertaining. Daniel makes a big confession.
He introduces our final vocabulary phrase, guilty pleasure.
Jenny defines it perfectly. A guilty pleasure is something you enjoy even though you feel a bit bad or embarrassed about it.
And Daniel admits his secret. This is the guy who demanded normal coffee. Yeah. The guy who hated the notes of blueberry. He confesses that his favorite drink is a giant latte with extra whipped cream and caramel syrup.
Jenny actually gasps in the text. She says, Daniel, the simple coffee man.
Her world is shattered. It is so funny. But let's look at the psychology here. This is about public identity versus private comfort.
Yes, the sociologist Irving Goffman talked about the front stage and backstage of our lives. We put on a front stage show for the public, but keep our true desires backstage. Daniel created a very tough public image.
Right. He wanted to look like the practical old school guy who just needs fuel.
But that was just a performance. His confession about the caramel latte shows how exhausting it is to act like a serious adult.
But why is a sweet drink considered embarrassing for a grown man? Why is there guilt attached to coffee?
Because it goes against the mature image he wants. Modern coffee culture treats flavor like a moral test.
Yeah.
Enduring bitter black coffee makes you look serious and refined. Ordering a sweet, milky drink makes you look like a kid wanting a milkshake.
It's totally performative.
Yeah.
Daniel wants people to think he is a tough intellectual. But his inner child secretly just wants sugar and comfort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The pressure to look cool in a cafe is so intense that liking a sweet drink is treated like a guilty pleasure.
The hypocrisy is just so human. I mean, we all fake our coffee personas a little bit, don't we?
We really do. What we hold in our hands in public is a broadcast to the world about who we want to be.
So listener, think about your own habits right now. Are you pretending to be a sophisticated pour-over person? Do you nod at the barista about toasted nuts? While secretly, deep down, you just want a caramel latte with whipped cream.
Jenny's gasp shows how strong that cultural pressure is. But the transcript says Daniel laughs after his confession.
Yeah, a laugh of relief.
Relief from taking off the mask.
Yeah.
Beneath the fake concept cafe and the bitter acquired taste, we are all just tired humans. We want warmth, connection, and sometimes a ridiculous amount of caramel.
The desire for comfort beats the desire to look cool. It's the perfect, honest ending. So let's pull everything together.
The beauty of this transcript is how 10 English vocabulary phrases map out a whole human day.
It's an accidental masterpiece. We started with the intimidating art of the brew and the pressure to get an acquired taste at the concept cafe.
Then we stripped away the art to find the biological truth, the need for the caffeine to kick in so we aren't amnesiac zombies.
Right. And we dealt with the medical need to cut back on it and relying on the fake placebo of a decaf pick-me-up to survive the afternoon.
But it's not just survival. We saw the social magic of sipping a warm drink, slowing down, and getting the chance to catch up with friends.
Proving that the shared space matters more than the drink.
And finally, we admitted our sweet guilty pleasures, showing the gap between our fake adult public image and our tired, comfort-seeking private selves.
Language isn't just a list of words. These 10 phrases capture our daily struggles with energy, friends, and identity perfectly.
It's a mirror for our morning routines. And I want to leave the listener with a final thought about all this.
Let's hear it.
The text says black coffee is an acquired taste. We force ourselves to drink it until we learn to like it. But looking at how physically addicted we are to the caffeine, the zombie state, the bad moods, we have to ask a hard question.
Go.
Are we actually acquiring a genuine taste for the bitterness? Does our tongue really change? Or are we just conditioning our brains to endure a bad flavor because our bodies are desperate for the chemical drug?
Wow. That completely changes how I see it. Are we enjoying it or just enduring it for the fix?
Exactly. And it raises a bigger question. What else in your daily routine, your job, or your relationships are you convincing yourself you genuinely like just because you depend on the result it gives you?
Oh man, that is going to keep me up at night, much like a late espresso.
Mm.
And it brings us right back to the morning routine.
Yep.
We want things to be as simple as brushing our teeth. But as we learned today, the moment you pour hot water over a ground up bean, nothing is simple.
Not at all.
When you drink that cup, you are drinking biology, sociology, and a whole lot of psychology. We want to thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Think about all these invisible forces the next time you order coffee. Keep questioning your habits and never take the everyday things for granted.
Until next time, take care of yourselves and good luck out there.